Say loud,
All right, so other side of the face. I'm going to take a little bit more makeup because this is setting on my hand just because in the time we've been talking, okay? But in real life, I would do this right away and away we would go, okay? So your color is E20, by the way.
Remember that. No.
So now I take the other side, and again, I work the product into my brush, okay? Just a smidge more.
And you're using a blush brush right now.
I'm using a open fiber brush. I really try to avoid the words blush, powder, but yes, technically this would be a blush brush. That's what people would use it for, but it's an open fiber brush in comparison to this brush, okay? Just remember, the more open the fiber, the more sheer. That's not just for foundation. That's for anything. Like I could do blush with a heavy, dense brush like this, or I could use a fantail brush, and the fantail will deposit the blush, the same blush, much more sheer. Okay? Just remember, the more open the brush, the more sheer your application is going to be. Okay? Turn to me this way. The same technique. I apply. Like so. Wipe any excess away. And blend. Exact same technique with a different tool will give me a totally different finish. Let's take those from here. I'm just working quickly so they can all see. If you get a little bits of hair coming out of the skin, that's just the nature of these brushes we're working with, so it's normal. Don't panic, okay? Just pick them off. Not all brushes do that, by the way, okay? The higher grade your brush, the less hair will come out. You have good brushes to work with, and I really, for new makeup artists, would discourage buying expensive brushes. I really would. Learn your craft, learn your technique, screw up with less expensive brushes, and then when you've got it down, go and buy a good brush. Because if you buy a really expensive brush and misuse it, put the wrong thing in it, gum it up, like break it, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's so expensive to replace until you really know what you're doing, okay? And that's why you want to practice. And these are good brushes. I know where these were made. The factory is excellent. These are good, medium quality consumer brushes. This is what most people would buy at like a department store level, okay? These are good quality. They're not the best brushes in the world, but they are very good to work with for what you're doing here. So I really would discourage you from buying really expensive brushes right now. And I mean, really good brushes, I mean, they can run into the hundreds and hundreds of dollars for a single brush, you know? Like so, okay? Totally different type of coverage. Same product, different brush. Is this light, medium, or dark skin?
Light.
There are always the setting powders. This makeup is not set, okay? What that means is it will move right now unless we set it. And here we have a light, medium, and a dark setting powder, okay?
But her neck is still a little bit yellow.
Yep, because it's as close as we can get with the products that we have. It's not going to be perfect, but what you want to test is, look, there's no demarcation line. There's no line of makeup here, okay? She has a lot of sensitivity on the surface of the skin, which makes it look very pink. So we are now then also going, like what you're not seeing right now is eyeshadow, blush, or lipstick, which will even everything out. I'm just showing you foundation today. So you want to get as close a match as you can, because you saw those two other colors were way too orange. And if we went to these colors over here, these would be so light, she would look like a pasty white ghost, okay? Seriously, it's the opposite of that orange. It still leaves a line, but it'll be a white line, and there's no way in heck she's this color.
No,
okay?
not a chance.
There's no way in
Not a
heck. I mean,
chance.
this is there's no way, all right?
No.
So we, based on what we can work with, we have given the best match, and it looks fairly good, okay? Remember, when you're looking at makeup, you don't look at just the foundation. You need to see makeup in its entirety. Eyeshadow, blusher, lipstick. There's a whole bunch of stuff that we still have weeks and weeks and weeks to learn, okay? So one step at a time. But we have a light, medium, and a dark setting powder. What is this skin tone?
Light.
So we use the light, okay? It looks really white, I know, but trust me, it's translucent, so it will not leave a heavy amount of product on the skin. Okay.
Could you use a light translucent powder on a dark skin tone?
I wouldn't. I mean, you can do anything you like, but I wouldn't. Okay, so you see how little of the product I take? You don't have to get all crazy with this, okay? So we have two tools here. We have our powder puff, and we have our dense fiber powder brush, for lack of a better term, okay?
Can you find those anywhere, like at
Yeah, this is
Shoppers?
back. Okay. Yeah, you can get there. You can quo mix them. Yeah. Okay. Get a really good one that you can wash, though. Don't get a cheap one that'll fall apart too
Yeah.
much because you'll be replacing it all the time. Okay. So again, the more dense the tool, what? The more coverage, right? So which one am I going to use on which half of the face?
This one on this side?
No,
Just the other
We're gonna use that
side.
one on that side.
on the side that
Yeah,
we
on
created
the
more
side you
coverage,
said
and
that
this
one
one
on
on
the
the
other
one
side, yeah.
exactly. Okay, so let's do the light side first. We simply pick up product. You notice I work from the lid. I'm not working from the pot because look at this. Like there's so much product
Yeah.
in here. I'd be picking up way too much product. Okay. I pick up all the product into my brush, and you'll see how look how light that is. Like there's almost nothing in the brush. Okay. All right. You all see? And all I do is buff this in. It will not change the coverage level of the product at all, but what it is doing is it's setting the makeup so that it won't move. That's all there is to it. Okay? Yes?
So what would the difference be between the setting powders and like the setting sprays, like the model in a bottle?
No, setting sprays work exactly the same, but they're generally used with different types of foundation. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So here, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put it out here. What you don't want is to have the makeup too centralized on a puff brush, okay? You want to make sure that you have, there we go, about the same amount all the way across. Like even this is a little heavy, but it'll be okay, all right? And what we do with this is we simply press it into the skin.
No, that's not gonna take any of the foundation off.
No, I'm not rubbing, I'm pressing. So it's a press, 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 okay? I'm not even pressing that hard.
Okay.
All I want to do is deposit this light layer of powder over the top of the foundation. Like so. And now it's set.
Sing loud, we love you.
Concealer as possible. Now what I've done with the concealers over here is I have laid them out so that you can see what they look like in the tube. Please don't get them all mixed up, okay? This is very quick and easy to do. You will again be working with a brush. I have two brushes. I'm going to apply with one and blend with the other. Okay? Because once concealer gets into a makeup brush, it's kind of really stuck in there, okay, until you wash it out, okay? So I'm going to use this short little stubby one to do the application. Look straight up at the ceiling for me, okay? What I do is I get right up under the eyelash, and I am pressing this on, turn to me this way, pressing this on like so. I take it all the way out to the corner where we see darkness, and then I start to fill in the bottom. You will notice that I have not gone back for any more makeup. The majority of the concealer is under the lash, and as it goes down, it's getting softer. What most people do is put the majority of the concealer here and make it lighter as it goes up, and that's when you end up having that ring around the eye, okay? So the majority of the makeup is up under the lash, like so. And I'm going to pass this around so you can see what I mean about how concealer gets stuck in a brush. It's not even going to really wipe out. That's why I use one for applying and one for blending. Once it's blended, the trick with concealer is not to work it in like foundation. It's to get rid of the hard line of makeup. So anywhere that I can tell that there is a line of makeup that you can physically see where the makeup ends, that's what I want to soften here. Turn to me. And it's okay to take it all the way around and blend. Look up. So I'm getting rid of all the hard lines. I'm not trying to blend, I'm not trying to push this into the skin. I'm simply getting rid of the hard lines of makeup. That. Okay? I'm not pushing this into the skin. All I did was take anywhere there was a line that you can physically see, makeup ends here, makeup ends here, and I'm making those lines disappear. That's all I do with this little brush, so that the concealer is doing its job, but it also doesn't look cakey and pasty, okay? Everybody got that?
Yes.
All right, and it shouldn't take any longer than that, okay? So I would like you all to do concealer. We should take no more than about 10 minutes for everybody, okay? And then we're gonna wash our brushes and clean up, okay? So I'm gonna show you some techniques for washing the brushes, and we do end in a little over half an hour.
See